That all happened during the night.
Flat.
The people in the islands
I thought it was the end of the world.
learn how to survive.
It's 50 years.
When Typhoon Karen hit,
I'm Congresswoman Madeleine Bordallo. Just coming off from an election where I have had very little sleep, so I've lost my voice.
I'm Kim Perez. I'm her senior policy advisor. November 11th, Veterans Day.
I was 29 years old during that period of time.
I was 16. I was a junior at Guam.
It was one of our worst typhoons. It was a super typhoon. And the island was literally flattened after that typhoon. 6 months we were without power.
And water. When Typhoon Karen hit, a lot of schools were destroyed. George Washington disappeared. It cut coconut trees in half. And my wife, who was at that time 14 years old, her entire house blew away. Some of the cars went from the road where they were parked to the back of the house. It flew over the house. That all happened during the night. You could hear it, but you didn't see all of the destruction until you woke up in the morning. You walk out the door and oh boy, that'll show you the devastation of Karen. After Typhoon Karen, the cooperation between the local government and the naval government and the Red Cross was out of this world. And that's why we became so dependent on the military.
That's right.
After Typhoon Karen, the military flew the supplies from Honolulu on the west coast. And when they flew in poles for the power lines, the wire, they flew in food supplies. If you went around the island during that time, you'll see that most of the houses were covered in army tarps because the typhoon blew all the tin away.
So the military provided the tarp. We pulled together this, what's it called, when the military comes in, rapid response team, and we all meet in the conference room, and everybody is there. Superintendent of schools, governor, lieutenant governor, military representatives, just about everybody. And we just go right to work. We have guidelines as to what we do, and we just work as a team. It's great. But Karen was so early that those things were not in place.
We used to have what they call here on the Typhoon trackers. These were airplanes out of Anderson Airport. This is another example of the cooperation, the assistance we get from the military. Those airplanes would go up and they would track the typhoon. And when they see that the eye is passing over the island, they will radio the civil defense and tell them the eye is passing. Tell the people to stay inside. If it wasn't for the cooperation between the civilian and military communities, we wouldn't have been able to recover as fast. You know, we learn. As a people, we learn.
Personally, from my experience, I learned to handle disasters. Coming from the States as a young girl, I just never saw anything like this. And I saw the way the local people reacted. It made me grow up real fast. We all went to church, and thank God that we were spared, and went about our normal duties and taking care of the damages in the house. People out there painting and cleaning up their yard.
Yeah, people know how to recover quickly.
That's when we started to build concrete sides to homes, and then we kept the tin roof. And then the next super typhoon that came along, that tin roof went. So today it's now all concrete. We've learned our lesson.
Don't build wooden houses anymore.
No more.
Right now, even if you wanted to build a wooden house on one, you probably could not get insurance.
We have building codes now, very strongly enforced.
We used to count because every 9 to 13 years, a super typhoon would come. It's already been 10 years since Bong Son-Hwa. So there's a bunch of us old-timers that are just wondering when. And when we look around, it's not a problem, it'll be a piece of cake. People at Guam are actually very smart about typhoon.
Yeah.
You see everybody gathering their water, preparing for it.
Yeah, we do have time to prepare.
You should always be prepared in the beginning. You should have spare batteries at the house. I always keep 5-gallon can of kerosene.
Bread and whatever.
Canned goods. And rice. Because if you don't have rice after the typhoon, you probably die. It's local people. You know, typhoon like the one that just hit New York, super typhoon or Hurricane Sandy, it wouldn't bother us. We wouldn't sneeze.
In fact, I say that a lot in Washington, D.C. Whenever there's serious snowstorms and everybody's schools closed, I said, not in Guam. This wouldn't happen, you know. We just keep going. And I remember when assistance comes to Guam during typhoons like FEMA, they go back to Washington, and then when we meet with them, they say, this Guam is a model community. I mean, here's a family that have lost their roof on their house, and maybe the entire house, and they invite us over for barbecue. He said, this is the greatest thing that's ever happened to us. So we really know how to handle serious typhoons, and well, they call them hurricanes in the east, but we refer to them as typhoons.